G'day mate and welcome to the first ever Sunday Friday Facts, because it's actually Sunday here in Australia and rather than the normal Saturday that me and Mojo pull off. And unfortunately I'm here by myself because it's really late. Mojo's done the sensible thing and gone to bed on time, and hence I'm doing this solo. But I hope you guys are enjoying your Easter. One of the reasons this is late is because it is Easter. There is family to see, extended family to see, in-laws to see, which has just pushed back the whole Friday Facts later and later into the day until it became a whole different day. So we have the new campaign, the multiplayer stress testing, and the HR icons part 2. So this is by Avocado, as Mojo would call him, and it's all about the tech tree in the campaign, or at least the campaign that we're all waiting to see that probably won't get here till 18. But have you ever been playing the free play campaign and realised, or the free play game, and realised that you don't know what your next big goal is? And then once you decide to pick a new goal, you realise whilst you worked on automating the last goal, there were 10 new technologies unlocked and you don't know what to pick next. And I actually find this a lot. I find it actually worse in 17 than it was in 16. I don't know if things are... It's because things are cheaper, or because we don't make that early jump to Assembler Mark 2. We leave a lot of things on Assembler Mark 1. I find I'm unlocking tech a lot faster in 17 than I was in 16. Which means by the time I've automated something, I've probably unlocked another 10 techs that I haven't actually put to good use yet. So in the current, as it is in the free play, when you unlock oil, you can then choose plastic, lube, sulfur, explosives, or flammables, which all have their own things they can unlock. And these are the situations we're hoping to address in the new full campaign, a guided free play in which the player plays through the whole tech tree without being overloaded with choice, while still having the premise and unidirectional progress of Factorio. Over last year, we've been working on a bigger design task, unraveling the tech tree and breaking it into a set of choices for the player. So this is one of the things they proposed. You'd either go down sulfur into rockets and explosives, or after getting oil, or into flammables, and then they're going to join back up for batteries, and then up for plastic, which gives you your armor, and finally into lube and robots, and then blue science. Personally, I'd like to see robots a little bit higher up. Unfortunately, they sort of require all these things, so there's not really a lot of choice there. But yeah, so they're working on that. I'm excited to see what they do. And of course, they say right here at the bottom, we're not changing the free play tech tree. We're just changing it just for this campaign, new player experience. But like I said, I'm looking forward to playing. I don't think it's coming till 18, but I'm looking forward to playing it. So, Factorio massive multiplayer stress testing by Twinson. A few days ago, I was contacted by Caledon from the Catherine Sky community. They were doing some tests to see if they could host a massive multiplayer event. I joined forces with him and we started looking into new and old problems we can fix in Factorio so we can host a large number of players. Last test was on Sunday last week. The next test is in numbers. About 2 hours, actually. 2 hours, hour and a half, well, 2 hours, 3 hours, depending on exactly how long it takes to get this video processed and put up, but it's soon. And speaking of that, there's actually Mojo over on Twitch is doing a Factorio event as well. It's a PvP event, and if you haven't looked at it yet, I'll hopefully remember to put his link down in the description. Recommend you go check it out. It starts at 6:30 a.m. our time. That's one of the reasons he's actually in bed. So anyway, back to this. So Caledon from the Catherine Sky community is doing a massive multiplayer stress test. They got to about 80 to 140 players playing without too much issues. It was a small test compared to our previous record of 400 players back in 2016, which was, there's plenty of videos out there on YouTube. It was an absolute nightmare. Like it was amazing, but 400 engineers doing 400 different things, well, probably 600 different things if you've ever played multiplayer. It was crazy. Anyway, so among the small tweaks that Twins have managed to do, he had the ability to set the maximum number of map upload slots for the server, because often you'll have 50 people trying to join at the same time, and everybody gets a tiny little bit of data each. and then the server starts sending data to everybody else again. Hopefully with a maximum slots upload, that should fix that. I've had the same problem in just our own community map when we had the server crash and then 20 people have tried to rejoin. It causes lots of, not problems, but it takes longer for everybody to get in. If I can have 5 people join, 5 people download at max speed, that'd be great. Another small annoyance to these events, even small multiplayer games, is the constant annoying blinking of server not responding. Players being dropped from the game. I made some tweaks that should show this message less often. I found a memory leak in input action handling, which our settings fixed. Of course he has. There's still some technical problems to investigate and fix. So tomorrow, boom, there will be another stress test. If you want to help out, you can join the server and play normally when the game starts. Details are placed in Catherine Sky's Discord. You can come to the Friday Facts and join her Discord if you want to get all the details. There'll also be a Steam announcement event if they don't get enough players. So as always, you can have your Steam running in the background and look for that announcement if they decide to do one. But yeah, it will probably have at a very unstable server. You're more there to test things, to play, just be warned. So then we have high-res icons part 2, and this is the part I actually really wanted Mojo here for. So last week I opened the subject high-resolution icons in Friday Facts 290, and of course, sorry, this is by Albert, who's the resident graphics guy. More focus on the uni-size method, which was this one. Rescaling the single 64 pixel bitmap to any size through linear in population, in whatever. The results were very fine compared to the old version. It was obviously a success, that it was. This week we focused on the min-map method. Priscilla very quickly implemented the code for it, and even though I was willing to reject the technique due to its extra work and complications, after testing I changed my mind. So this is at zoom level 2. And I just zoomed the page out a little bit because I always have this zoomed in extra for you guys. So zoom level 2, which is the default zoom in Factorio. Don't ask why it's zoom level 2, it just is. Everything looks pretty good. Obviously, the 64-bit looks a lot better than the 32-bit that we have currently. Unfortunately, I sort of prefer how the inserters look. I know it's just an age thing. I don't mind the changes to the assembly machines. Obviously, the large power poles look a lot better. But the inserters, it's nostalgia in me. I know it's nostalgia in me. And then you've got the min map, which is basically the exact same. I really can't see any difference at a zoom level of 3. So this is max zoom in. Then we're going to zoom level 2, which is the default. And we've changed the min map from 64 pixels down to 32 pixels. And here, look, they're very, very much the same. I'm actually going to zoom that back in. That's what we normally run at, 125. So, there's a little bit more, like in some respects, there's a little bit more clarity up here in the uni size than there is in the min map. Just like these inserters compared to these inserters. Everything else looks pretty much the same to me. I don't see a lot of variation. The only thing I see is the order of crap on this belt and the order of crap on this belt is very, very different. That sort of makes it a little bit hard to compare a one-to-one. And then we've got a zoom level of... This is numbered at the top, isn't it? So a zoom level of 1, which is the default. Which is actually funny, because I'm pretty sure zoom level of 2 is default. Anyway. And here, look, this is the point where I just start seeing stuff on a belt. Honestly. Like... There's just stuff on a belt. Especially as we go out further, it just becomes stuff on a belt. But here, I can definitely see the map is definitely doing better. The inserters are definitely clearer. The coloured boxes, because they're not in motion, I can't... If you remember back to the last Friday Facts, we could see them flickering red. I have a feeling that was because they're in motion. Can't see that here because these are obviously not animated GIFs or short videos. But yeah, the inserters definitely have more clarity. The large electric poles, everything else seem to be about the same. It's really the inserters. Maybe, again, so the electric poles are here on the side, and electric poles are here at the top, which is a different orientation of how they're placed beside one another. So, yeah, it's hard to compare one to one. And then we've got the zoom level of 0.5, and it's stuff on a belt, let's be honest. And then a zoom level of 276, which is the absolute minimum zoom level. It's just stuff on a belt. At first glance, the difference between a uni-size and mip-map is almost not noticeable. When we surpass the boundary level of 1, the mip-map starts to react a little bit better. And I would agree. Like 1 is sort of the point where it's starting to do a little bit better. And out here, like I said, it's almost stuff on a belt. Yeah. Unfortunately, I know from my own perspective, like this is the devs' baby. It's their little thing that they spend a lot more time and effort on than I do, and they care more for, I guess. So I can understand that they're looking for that little bit of perfection. Whereas, yeah, it's stuff on a belt. It's stuff on a belt at sort of this zoom level. And that's even the classic level. Like, all this is just stuff on a belt at this sort of zoom level out. And we said this, both me and Mojo, last Friday Facts. At any sort of high zoom level, everything becomes stuff on a belt. You can see iron, you can see copper, but a lot of times that is just seeing that it's 4 or 8 belts wide. Therefore, on a main bus, you can just guess that that's iron or copper. Even if the belts were empty, you could probably guess what's iron and what's copper. Same with a lot of things, depending on where it's going and where it's coming from. But yeah, in the case of actually identifying it at this sort of zoom level, you just don't. You either zoom in, you travel there in person. Yeah. So the best part is to combine both methods. That way you can use mip maps only for the icons that require special attention. And they can just define the Lua code to make sure it's using the right graphic at that sort of stage. So they've decided on a hybrid method, which is great for them. The uni size is less work, but the mip map definitely has some advantages. And now, just for the joy of it, I'd like to show the sneak peek of what HR icons mean for the GUI. So, unfortunately, like, this is at 100% scale, which is what people normally play at. This is at 200% scale. This looks impressive. I like this. I don't know if I can have that much room on my my screen used up by just the tool belt. But I think I want to, because the inserters and everything, they just look that much better. Yeah. And we can obviously see, this is HD, this is not HD. It's a little bit fuzzy around the edges. There's only a couple of graphics that have been updated. A lot of the ones are still the old ones. But yeah, I think I want to start running the just the toolbar at 200%, because it looks good. It looks really good. So yeah, he's hoping this new contrast and definition results in a better experience for the player. I hope so too. Like I said, I think it's maybe a little bit too much effort for the net rewards, but that's up to their guy. That's up to the guys at Woob. Like I said, it is their little baby, so yeah, they're going to spend a lot more time and really looking for the perfection, if and when possible. It is one of the things that has made Factorio. Just the time and the effort that the devs do put into the game is amazing compared to a lot of other devs. But yeah, that's going to be it for Friday Facts 291. It's an interesting read, as always. But more importantly, I hope you guys are enjoying your Easter. And I'll see you next week. Hopefully I bring a Mojo along next week, and we can do Friday Facts 292 together. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. As always, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.